o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock, the heat gets so intense. And I don't know if it's because it's radiating off of the ground. But it does. It gets really, really hot. So that's one of the reasons why I like coming out this time of the day. And yeah, and just utilize, the electricity from my car, air conditioning. But Lord knows, the city of Garland is a co-op, and they know that, you ain't gonna just switch up with them, right? You cannot just switch utility companies. No. I also spent a little time reading the instructions on the drone that I had bought from Temu. So I'm taking my time with it, I don't want to break it before I even have a chance to use it. So yep. But yeah, I noticed a lot of people are painting their bricks nowadays. They're painting the bricks. They just don't like the bricks anymore. They don't like dark wood anymore. It's just too old style or something like that. Too old style. So that would be the next thing that I would want to do once I do the floors, is to try to repaint the outside of the house too. And then once I do all of that, then once I do basic maintenance, upkeep, whatever, then I think, I'll be ready to, apply for, some type of mortgage loan. Because that was one of the things that just really went through my mind, was that, like I said, I would really prefer to, to have a job and just do, an equity loan. That's what I would prefer. And then just, move forward that way. But, a lot of these, lenders, they don't want to give you a separate equity loan. I guess because, if you default, then they'll have to try to wait until, you sell your house against the lien. So that's the way that they'll get their money, is by making you refinance the whole amount of the worth of the past loan, the equity. They're making money on on interest, yeah. And that doesn't seem like that's fair to me at all. But our society is letting them get away with it. And then I did look into the reverse mortgage. And the reverse mortgage, they do it just like it was a refinance type of situation. Only thing is that you don't have to pay the money back until you either move out of the house or sell the house, or yeah. So on one hand, it's on one hand it's a good alternative. If your alternative is that you're gonna lose your home, but then and I asked him, I said, well, can you pay back the loan? And I can't remember what she said. She said, well, you can pay on the loan, which is not how I meant it. But you have to pay for the appraisal, and I don't know, you might even have to pay for a whole title thing, so that they'll make sure that you ain't got no titles on the house. And then they have another program out there that keeps sending me information saying that I can sell them my home and still live in the home for as long as I need to. Then they have these other ones who are like offering to allow you to stay at least 30 days and then help you move out. So there are some options out there. Those are not any of the options that I want, except, as a last resort type of situation, because I'm surprised, like I said, I haven't gotten any positive, reply back from any of the applications that I have put out there. And I'm not even monetized with these recordings that I'm making. So yeah. And it's not like, my intent when I started this channel was to get monetized. I wanted, I wanted to go and get my coins. I didn't want, the inconsistency of, being on YouTube, especially when I was watching how, you can get demonetized, very easily. And some cases, people have lost their whole channel. And the way that people will make some of the rudest remarks and just totally disregarding that, some of those remarks, have to be edited off, which is a lot of work, to go through every, statement to make sure, that you're not blamed, for the misbehavior of anybody around the world just watching, and then some of them, they can report you, you could be reported as anything, and find yourself under some kind of weird surveillance or on some terrorist list, Yes, you can. Harbor Freight had a sale going on. I should go up there and see if they have those rubber tiles on sale. Because I would definitely like to buy those rubber tiles so that I can put that down for the dogs. I think I'll go take a look. Because my dog is so hot, she don't want to sleep in her bed. She's like, no, I ain't gonna sleep in that. Those pillows make her hot. And I found sometimes where I'll be sweating all on my pillow. You're like, what the hell? So probably next month I might have to try to do some volunteer work somewhere. Oh, there's a Oldies. This is good stuff cheap. Might have to go there once I get my food voucher. So I went ahead and got my electricity bill out the way so I won't have to worry about that. Says it's 90 degrees out, so at least it's dropping. At least it is dropping. taken in for obstructing for real. But yeah, it's activities like this that make me wonder. Ooh. Wow, there's a lot of police cars. Look at this. Ooh, that was scary. That was scary as hell having all of those police cars zoom by me. Cause I thought it was just those two. That's about that was about 8 police cars up here. So we won't be going in that direction. We gonna turn at this next light after this one. We gonna turn. Cause yeah, eight police cars? 8? I'm gonna take that as an omen. I'm probably just gonna take my ass on home. Forget this riding around stuff, because it could be dangerous. Oh, here come another one. Hey, there's another one coming up here. Let me show you. It's gonna pass right by me. That's 9 police cars. What the hell is going on here? What the hell? Yeah. I think whatever it is, it happened right up here. Because the traffic is stopped. No, it's down a little further. It's down there somewhere. Ain't none of my business. I ain't going down there. I ain't going down there. We don't need no trouble. Ain't no telling what would happen if they had to dispatch 9 police vehicles. Too. Ain't no telling. But 9 police vehicles? Definitely some kind of serious threat going on. Yeah. Down the street too. It was zooming. Yeah, so we're gonna head on back to the house. I was looking up, the crime statistics for this city that I live in, and it's high. But the majority of the crimes committed in this city is theft. The majority. So they have a lot of theft going on. Not necessarily like violent crime. I know Garland police don't play. They are not going to play with you. And that's something that they had been talking about, about, people living in their vehicles. They were confused, as to, what the problem is, and why, when people are suffering financially like this, that they would, come down so hard. Well, on the other side of that coin, yeah, you do want to be compassionate to people who have been displaced, or who are homeless, or who are a product of this whole, reconstruction, resetting, merging with, automation and, new job, a whole brand new job force, right? And, even if you're a tradesman, you're really only going to be making anywhere from 50,000 to 90,000. You might get into the 6-digit figures, but anybody making under 6 figures is struggling. Okay, they may have, temperance to be able to get by, and the savvy, on how to cut corners and be frugal and, and resourceful. But, yeah. So, who are the tradespeople? The tradespeople are the people like your plumbers, your construction workers, your electricians, your, basically people who can either be trained as an apprentice, or, they can learn, their trade like in about a year or two. Okay? So it's a job, it's a needed job, but people aren't willing to do that because they're still struggling, right? They're still struggling, and then you also have to consider that it's a hard labor's job, and if anything goes wrong, as a tradesperson, that can ruin your whole business reputation. A plumber can't go into your house and say, accidents happen, and they did more damage than, repairs to your house, because maybe your house is flooding now, or maybe your house done caught on fire. Like, hell no. As a tradesperson, you make a mistake, that's it. And that same thing would be similar, like, say somebody that, draws blood, right? Somebody that draws blood, and, all you need is to miss 2 times, and then this person's going to have to reschedule. And this is going to make that patient very unhappy. Very unhappy. And they're going to complain to the doctor. And the doctor is going to have to listen to this, complaint for sure. And probably, try to take some corrective steps, so that, the person is, at least knowing what they're doing, and that, their margin of error, you know, isn't one that's, costing them money.